Awashai, Bahasham, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the elders, apostles, and bishops, beginning with Rabbi Abba Bivens last century in the 1960s. And the spiritual torch was passed on through other great men who have died, who were in tune with Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, as well as into today's time, which is led here on earth by Elder Apostle Tahar, in terms of who the Lord is supping with, and to the scattered elect throughout the four corners of the earth that look like traditional Israelites, as well as the speckled bird Israelites of the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom. This is just a quick part due to the video, the lesson I just did this past week on the 8th of October 2025 on Psalms, the 83rd chapter. I find it very interesting, to say the least. And I'm just going to go ahead and read the first 6 verses, and it'll lead to the point that I'm making. Psalms 83:1, a song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And here are some of the names here. The tabernacle of Edom, which is the self-proclaimed Caucasian. And the point I'm making here is now when I go to Google and I type in places named Edom in America, and here's what popped up. The city of Edom, Texas, a city in Van Zant County, Texas. Its history dates back to 1849 when it was first established near its current site. It was once called Hamburg before being named Edom in 1855. Then you have a place called Edom, Virginia, that is an unincorporated community in Rockingham County, Virginia. It is located on the intersection of State Route 42 and State Route 721. The location is historically significant for being the site where Dr. Jesse Bennett performed the first cesarean section, or C-section. It's funny how the word cesarean is spelled like the word Caesar, Caesarean. So the first cesarean section and oophorectomy in the United States. And then you have one more place called the former Edom, California. And that was a community in the Coachella Valley that was once called Edom. The name was changed to Thousand Palms. The change was reportedly due to the area already being unofficially called Thousand Palms. Okay, so that covers Edom. And now back to the scriptures. Psalms, the 83rd chapter and the 6th verse. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, which are the so-called Arabs. So now I'm going to go back to Google, and then I'm going to type in, bear with me, my phone now is going slow. What is names or places named oh, look at this, my phone's messing up. How convenient. How convenient. That's Satan. Just bear with me. Now I'm going to go back to Google and type in places named Ishmael in America. And let's see what pops up here. And once again, like I said, it's the so-called Arabs. You have a place called, there is one place in the United States named Ishmael, and that's in Ishmael, Missouri, a ghost town. Okay. Other search results mention the tribe of Ishmael, which was a name applied to poor working class residents of Indianapolis, Indiana. Okay, so you see now, Esau Edom, he runs Babylon here, America. And then the next one, I'm going to go to Moab. I'm sorry, back to the scriptures, Psalm, the 83rd chapter and the 6th verse. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab. So Moab is next, and that's the so-called Chinese. And now I'm going to go back to Google and type it in. Places named Moab in America. And I mentioned in the lesson that I did this past Saturday that they have a place in Utah called Moab. It's a beautiful place too. It's got the red rocks. The red rocks are known for having a high iron content, so they have a strong potency to be able to purify the air and the minerals and the plants and vegetation out there. So hence why all the creatures are real lustrous and big in size. Let me see here. Place is named Moab in America. Yes, Moab, Utah is a city in southeastern Utah known as a gateway to national parks like Arches and Canyonlands, and a hub for outdoor adventures such as mountain biking, off-roading, and hiking. All right, so now you see back to the scriptures. I'm going to type in and then back to Psalms the 83rd chapter and the 6th verse. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites of Moab and the Hagarenes are next, which is a sect of the Ishmaelites. Let's see here. Hagarenes. There is a village named Hujin in Wisconsin, which may be a possible source of confusion. Well, okay, there's nothing there for the Hagarenes, but we've had a bullseye on the tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites and Moab. Now back to verse 7 of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Jabal. Let me make sure I get this right. I forgot what subsect they are. I think they're of the Hamites. Let's see here. And that's spelled G. Look at this, man. My phone is acting up crazy now, yo. How convenient. It's just Satan. Let me see. And Gabal or Jebel is spelled Gebal. And there are no cities named Jabal. Ancient Phoenicians. So yeah, they were Hamites. Oh, and that's another one. The name Phoenicia. That's spelled, which is a subsect of the Hamites too. That's spelled Phoeni. Let me make sure I get it back. Phoenia. Is there a place named Phoenicia in America? And this is what pops up. Yes. Phoenicia, New York. And it's in Ulster County, New York. So Phoenicians are the ancient Hamites. Corresponding to modern day, yeah, Phoenicians. Okay, so then so that covers your Hamites. Now, back to the scriptures. Verse 7 of Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Gabal and Ammon. The next one is Ammon, which is the so-called Japanese. And mind you, the story of Lot, right after Lot was told by the Lord to flee Sodom and Gomorrah with his wife and 2 daughters. His wife looked back as the Lord told them not to, as they were leaving Sodom and Gomorrah, because the Lord was destroying it, and his wife was turned to a pillar of salt. And as a result, Lot went into a cave with his 2 daughters. His 2 daughters got him drunk, and the oldest daughter did it first, got him drunk and laid with him and got pregnant by him and had Moab. And then the second one did it. The youngest daughter did it and had a son named Ammon. So they are Shemaic, but they're Hebrew Moabites and Hebrew Ammonites. But let's see what we find on the Google here for places named Ammon in America. All right, we have a place here called Ammon, Idaho, a city in the upper Snake River Valley located east of Idaho Falls. A place called Ammon, North Carolina, an unincorporated community. Then we have Ammon Ford, North Carolina, which is another unincorporated community. And then we have Ammon, Virginia. So as you can see, I'm Googling this. So I'm not lying and making this up. You can do it yourself. So you see how Esau has he gets all his might from all these deities from all these different nations, as well as of his own people. Let's see here. The next one is Amalek, which are the subsect of the Edomites, which are the tiny tops or the small hats. And Ammon is the chief tribe who was ruling this world. Let me see if I can spell it. Amalek. And I'm going back to Google and I'm typing in, places named Amalek in America. Let's see what we come up with. Amalekite. No, well, they don't have anything. Was there? Let's see. No, so we don't have anything for the Amalekites, but we do have something for Edom. After them, the Philistines. So let me see if we have any place called Philistine, America. A place named Philistine here in America. This is to show. This is further evidence showing that this is very real. Because where else would they get these names from? These names don't exist anywhere else but in the scriptures. Philistine. How you spell it? Salakia. Just bear with me, please. Philistine. Okay. Philistine. So you see, I'm putting a search in there. Places named Philistine in America. There are no places in America named Philistine. But there are several places named Palestine, a name derived from ancient land of the Philistines. You have Palestine, Texas, and you have Palestine, Illinois, which those lands, in Giza or Gaza, whichever way you choose to pronounce it, belong to those Hamites. Let me see. They dwelled there when they were camping around about us and like living in neighboring cities to us. What was I about to go to? Oh yeah, Tyre. Tyre. Okay. Now let me go back to the scriptures now because I didn't find anything called Philistine. But this is Psalms, the 83rd chapter and the 6th verse. I'm going to read it again. The tabernacles of Edom. Well, wait a minute. Let me go back to verse 5. Let me go to verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. Verse 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. And here's the list where it begins in verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the hagarenes, Jebel and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Now, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre are both Hamites. So now let's go back to Google search and see what towns we have found named in America that is named Tyre. A town in New York and an unincorporated community in Michigan. Okay. Both are named after the ancient city of Tyre in modern day Lebanon. Tyre, New York is a town and hamlet located in Seneca County. It is situated northeast of Geneva. And then now you have Tyre, Michigan, an unincorporated community in Austin Township, Sonillic County. And earlier, in this past weekend's video, like I said, October the 8th, 2025, I mentioned one of those tribes of the Hamites, Sidon, and that's spelled Sidon, as you can see right there, Sidon. And I mentioned, Sedona, where is the town about 20 minutes from me, because it sounds similar, and they do practice the same customs. If you go in the scriptures in the Old Testament and read about Sidon, they were known for things like building a temple for idol worship, sexual debauchery, and glass making. Which Sedona, Arizona, which is spelled Sedona, is known for here in Arizona. But now, typing in the word specifically how it was spelled in the scriptures, Sidon, a place named like that here in America, we come up with Missouri. There is one incorporated place named Sidon in Arizona, in the United States, and that is Mississippi. As you can see here, it's a town in LaFleur County, Mississippi. The name Sidon is also associated with the ancient city in Lebanon and the river Sidon, mentioned in the Book of Mormon. Well, that the Mormon's bullshit, but the location in Mississippi is the only actual place named for a current town in America. So, this is just a quick video, a quick hit. The Spirit did. Ashur is also joined, verse 8 in Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Ashur is also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. And Salah is a place that the Edomites inhabited. If you go through the scriptures, the brother Elder Malcolm did a video on that one. But let's do this. Let's tackle this one right here before I close. The Ashur. Let me see if anything pops up on this one. And as you can see, I'm not making this stuff up. I got the same way you see me, doing it right here, where you can see it on the screen. That's what I was doing for the town, places named Edom and Ishmael and Moab, etc., etc. Okay. Places named Ashur in America. There are widely known places in America named ancient city and Assyrian city. That's one of the people that we were under captivity of. Like we found and given name and family. So no, wait a minute. Modern usage, the name is more likely to be found as a given name, a family name, or a name associated with Assyrian American communities, particularly in states with large Assyrian populations like Michigan, California, and Illinois. So this is just further concrete evidence about about Psalms, the 83rd chapter, the first few verses of it. Yeah, see, perish, endure, what's done on the earth. We say, let's take ourselves. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to tackle the first 8 verses because the last verses are, Asaph is wanting to, he's trying to condemn them for, having this tumult and being confederate against the children of Israel. So, yeah, like I said, Psalms, the 83rd chapter, the first 6 verses that I always go into through the Spirit. A song of Asaph, a song or psalm of Asaph, keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have taken crafty counsel together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, so-called self-proclaimed white man, and the Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, of Moab, the so-called Chinese, and the hagarenes, a subsect of Ishmael, Jebel, which is a subsect of the Hamites, and Ammon, so-called Japanese, and Amalek, a subsect tribe of one of the grandson of Esau, aka the 1948ers, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre, which are Hamites. Assur also is joined unto them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Okay. And for the Assyrian part, is answer. Yeah, and Asher is and Asher are the Elamites, the so-called East Indians. Okay, Asher is listed among the sons of Shem, as you can see right here, and the ancestor of Assyrians in Genesis 10 and 22. Appearing as the son of Shem and the ancestor of Genesis, Asher is among. All right, here we go. Genealogy. In Genesis 10 and 22, Asher is listed among the sons of Shem, along with his brothers Elam, Aphaxad, Lud, and Aram. I got a Assyrians. Damn it, I got a. There's Elam, there's Asher, and let's do clarification on this one. A little rusty. Oh, the Assyrians. Of course, yeah, he said the Assyrians. So, okay. So that's just all I wanted to do. I just wanted to just show that real quick that, this is very real. And, I hope and pray that, you guys have been enlightened as I have, because the Spirit just hit me about an hour or two ago about this. When I was when it had me reflecting back on some of the content I made in the video this past weekend's lesson. So hopefully you guys were enlightened like I was, like I said. And, once again, give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakah Kodash. And, may the Lord keep his spirit upon you all, myself included. And to the next time, shalom.